Hi, so today I'll be showing you how to integrate Paychangu into your web application. I'm using SvelteKit, of course, but you can use any other framework that you're familiar with. So Paychangu is just a payment aggregator that provide an interface for us to be able to accept digital payments in our website. So to show you how it works, here is the demo. This is the app that we are going to be working on. So they have two ways on how you can accept payments on your, how you can integrate the Paychangu in your website. One is what they call it inline, yes, inline pop-up. So you can, as you can see here, and the other one is called level. So level, this is something to do with, let's say you have an API that you want to connect with your Paychangu, you have to use the level. If it's just a website and you want the payment to pop up, uh, then you just use this. So I'll not go through the documentation, but this is something that you can look into in your own time. So just to show you how the app works, so these are the products that I have. We are getting these products from the API fakestore.api. I'll provide the links in the description for whatever resource that I'm using here. So this is just providing us the products that we can work with. This is just mock data. You can click on the product where it will take you to a page where you see like product details and everything. Here you can also check out. So I will not show you this now. So let's go back. Here's the button, the buy now. When you click that, it's going to show you a pop-up where you are going to process the payment. So this is what they're calling it from the documentation, the inline pop-up. So when you provide a successful response and you click pay, this will deduct money from the customer's account and deposit it to our Paychangu. So as you can see here, the payment is successful. Now it's taken us to this page. So we can go back here. If you want to see the level one, which is this from the documentation, it's going to take us to the Paychangu. So it doesn't come as a pop-up. It will just redirect you to a Paychangu web page. So from there, when you do your payment and you pay, it will take us back to our page, our checkout page. So there are times also where a payment can fail. So just to show you how that works, I'll provide the failed response here. When I pay, it will take us to a page where it's going to say that payment failed. So we are going to be implementing this. So I will not write the code, so I'll just provide a link in the description that you can clone. So you just have to clone this and paste it in your editor. Then once everything is done, and we can get started. So I've already cloned the repo and I've already installed the node packages. So I'll just open it in VS Code just to show you the code, how it works and everything. This is the repo that I cloned. So I'm just going to walk you through everything. So when you open the routes folder, you're going to find a number of files here. So we're going to start with the server, the page.server.ts. So what this code is doing is we are just fetching the products from Faker Store API. So you can go through this. I'll also provide the link in the description. So what we're doing here is we're just getting mock data for the product, and we're going to show that in the page. So this is the page. Sorry, my laptop is slow, so it's not showing us the now here it goes. So this is the page. Just some HTML content and the Paychangu. So I'll start showing you the inline from the documentation. So if we go to the inline pop-up, So in the inline, they provided the code, so you can go through this in your own time. You can read the documentation for you to get the details. So we need this function to make an inline pop-up, but before you do that, you need to add this library in your code. So we have added that in the app.html file, which is down here, so that we can have access to the pop-up window that will come. So what I'm doing down here, I'm just declaring the design for the product. So that is the page that you are seeing when you go to, this is the page. So this product that you're seeing here, it is what I'm showing here. So there is a button that is saying buy now. So this button, it is implementing an on-click event, which is calling the make payment function. So if you go to the make payment function, it is taking an amount, and we are just calling now the Paychangu functionality. So you need to provide an API key. I'm going to delete this API key, but yeah, for demonstration purposes, we are going to use that for now. So you are going to provide this function. So you'll find this in the documentation, the Paychangu documentation. If you go in the documentation under inline pop-up, that's where you're going to find that. So you can just copy the code and paste it here and change the fields the way you want. So we are passing the amount, we are generating the reference ID, we are passing the public key there. So to get the public key, you need to log in into your Paychangu dashboard. Now in the sidebar, you go to settings. Under settings, you have to go to API keys and webhooks. You click there, and you're going to get your public key up there. So if you're using the inline pop-up, you are going to use the public key. If you're using the level, you're going to use the secret key. So as for now, we are only using the inline. So I'm going to copy this, and you go to code, and you have to paste it here. Right. Once that is done, you need to provide a callback URL. So the callback URL, this is what will redirect. This is what Paychangu will redirect you once the customer successfully made the payment. If anything happens, let's say he cancelled the payment or anything, it's going to redirect you to the return URL. So use the callback URL for a successful transaction, and use the return URL if anything happens. Once that is done, you can go back to your application, then click this button. So when you click this button, it should open this pop-up. So you select the response that you want, successful or failed. So I'm going to choose successful, then click pay. So this will redirect us back to a website, but under the page checkout, as you can see. So this is what we defined here, that upon a successful payment, it should redirect us back to this page. That is what it is doing right there. So I'm going to show you also what happens when you place the failed response. So you just have to select failed, then make the payment. So this will also redirect us back to the page, but right now it is saying checkout failed. So what happens in the checkout page is that first thing first, you have to verify the payment if the payment is successful. Otherwise, you don't want to show the customer that you have made a payment when a transaction did not succeed. So to verify the payment, you will find the documentation in the Paychangu website. Under Paychangu integration options, there is what we call transaction verification. So when you click transaction verification, here they're just explaining how you verify a transaction and the type of response that it's going to return to you. Then from this, you can choose to do whatever checks that you want and show the user the feedback accordingly. So here what we are doing is we are verifying the payment, and I'm getting the body here and returning the body to the front end. So in the front end, we are just checking here that if the body if the body and the data status is equal to failed, we show the user that the transaction, that the checkout failed. And if the transaction succeed, this is what you're going to show the user. So this is just an if statement, just to show the user that the payment was a success or not. Yeah, so yeah, this is what Paychangu allows you to do. So you verify the payment and you also make the payment. So whatever that we're doing here, it is happening in the front end. The inline pop-up, it is designed to work in the front end. Now I'm going to show you how to do that in the back end. So if you go back to our application, this button is only for the inline pop-up, so I just wanted to show you the inline pop-up, how it works. But now to show you how the level one works, so we are going to click the product and it will take us to this page, and you find this button, checkout. So if you go in the code that is under this page, open this folder here. So here's just some HTML showing you the design. Like I said, you find the link in the description if you want the code. So what I'm interested to show you is down here we have a form. So this form is just getting the price, and there's a button here that when you press this button it should do some certain things. So we go back in the backend. So up here we are just fetching again the product details. So this I've already explained, but what I'm interested to show you now is the action. So if you see in the actions, yeah, we are getting the data from the form. So this is the default method that whenever we submit the form, it will reach this endpoint. So what we're doing here, we are getting the data from the form, and now we're making the request to the Paychangu. So the way it looks is not that much different with inline pop-up, just that this is being done in the server now. It is not in the front end. So what you do is you call this endpoint, and if we go in the documentation, if you go in the API documentation under level, like they provide all the details and everything that you need for you to do the inline, for you to do the level transaction. So basically I just copied this and maybe just edit it so that it should work in the JavaScript. So yeah, so this is what we're doing. We're using fetch. We are calling the endpoint here, the Paychangu endpoint. It's a post request providing the headers, and here is the body. So as you can see in the body, I'm providing the same details that I provided in the inline. Now we are making the request, we are sending it to give us the response. We are converting the response and getting the body. Now from the body, we are going to have a checkout URL. So if we look at the checkout URL, this is the checkout URL. So this is what we are going to redirect the user. So when I click checkout, it's going to the Paychangu. It's going to redirect us to Paychangu website where we are going to make the payment. So as you can see here, so you choose also the response that you want. So I'll select success. So when I click pay, it is going to take us back to the callback URL. So it's just going to redirect us. So what this is doing is whenever we have made the payment, we'll redirect the user to the checkout URL, which is the page that I've just showed you. And once we have made the payment, now it's going to redirect us back to our checkout page. Now here we are also going to verify the transaction. Once everything is good, we're going to show the user the feedback accordingly. So that's how you integrate Paychangu and SvelteKit application. So I'll provide the links in the description, and if you have any questions, if you have any comments, you will leave them down in the comment sections. Otherwise, thank you guys. Catch you in the next one. Peace.